What if the moment you're about to give up is exactly the moment God is about to step in? Her name was Hope. Not because life had ever been gentle with her. Not because she had been handed opportunities on a silver platter. She was Hope because once upon a time, someone believed she could survive what seemed impossible. From the first light of dawn, she woke to a world that had never promised her mercy. The birds sang outside her window, but their song felt distant, like a reminder of life moving on without her. The walls of her small, crowded room had memorized every sigh, every tear, every prayer whispered into the shadows. Rejection had become a rhythm in her life. Letters returned unopened. Opportunities lost before she even knew they existed. Doors closed softly, cruelly, leaving her staring at walls that offered no comfort. And yet, every morning she rose. She moved her feet forward one step at a time because she had no other choice. Hope's friends had drifted one by one, leaving silence in the spaces where laughter used to live. Her job ended, as if the universe was testing whether she could stand on nothing. Prayers seemed unanswered, and still she whispered words she barely understood. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius. But controlling the mind is the hardest task, when fear keeps knocking, louder than hope. There were nights she stared at the ceiling, listening to the tick of the clock like it was measuring her failures. She wondered if persistence was just another name for foolishness, if survival was the only thing she was meant to do. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." And for years, all Hope had been doing was surviving. Her mornings began with small rituals she barely believed in anymore. A sip of cold water, a stretch of her stiff arms, a glance at her reflection in the cracked mirror. She whispered encouragements to herself, words that sometimes felt hollow. You can do this. Just one more day. One more chance. Every rejection letter, every silent phone call, every opportunity that never arrived, etched deeper into her heart the lesson she never wanted to learn. Life doesn't promise fairness. It doesn't promise mercy. It doesn't promise ease. And yet, Hope kept moving. She wandered the streets of her city on Sundays, watching families laughing at brunch, couples walking hand in hand, children playing with abandon. The world felt like a story she was outside of, allowed only to observe, never to participate. She envied their certainty. She envied their peace. She envied the ease with which joy came to them. Some days she tried to reach out. Friends from the past, mentors, even strangers who seemed approachable. But every attempt ended quietly. A missed call, a polite no, a smile that didn't meet the eyes. She started writing letters she never sent. Letters to herself, letters to God, letters to the universe. She poured her fears into ink, hoping that somewhere, someone, anyone might understand. And in those letters, she confronted herself with truths she didn't want to face. You are afraid, you are tired, you are lonely. Yet she continued. Then came the night she almost quit. She knelt on the floor of her small room, not because she felt strong, but because she had nothing else left. No long, polished prayer, no confident words, just tears and one sentence, God, if you are still writing my story, please don't stop here. The room was silent. The city outside hummed with life indifferent, and yet Hope felt something shift inside her. A quiet nudge, a subtle assurance. She couldn't explain it, she could only feel it. Days passed, then weeks. Then one ordinary morning the phone rang, unknown number. She stared at it, frozen. Her fingers hovered over the screen, trembling. She almost ignored it. Almost. Her heart raced as she answered. The voice on the other end was calm, professional, almost unreal. We reviewed your application, and we would like to offer you the position. Time slowed. The walls seemed to expand. Hope couldn't speak. Her knees gave way, and she sank to the floor. Phone pressed to her ear, tears flowing freely. Not loud tears, deep ones. The kind that carry years of waiting, years of doubt, years of holding on, when letting go felt easier. When the call ended, she didn't scream. She didn't jump. She closed her eyes. She breathed, and for the first time in a long while, her heart felt light. She laughed, then cried again. And she remembered the words of Nietzsche. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Her why had always been faith. The job didn't just pay her bills, it restored her dignity. It reminded her that delay is not rejection and that God's timing had been perfect all along. Hope later realized something profound. What almost broke her had prepared her. What felt like punishment was protection. What seemed like silence was God working quietly behind the scenes. She began to see the beauty in the struggle. The nights that had once terrified her were now sacred. Each rejection, each closed door had shaped her. Each moment of waiting had taught her patience, resilience, and faith. Hope started to write again. Not letters this time, but words meant to inspire. She wrote about the dark mornings and the endless doubts, about the nights she felt invisible, and the small miracles that had changed everything. She wanted others to know, even when life is hard, even when the world seems silent, something greater is working on your behalf. And she smiled, softly, quietly, at the thought. Breakthroughs don't always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes they come quietly, through unseen hands. At the exact moment you're about to give up. So listen carefully. Do not give up. When life becomes difficult, it does not mean God has left you. Often, it means a greater miracle is on the way. Hold on. Keep believing. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think.